Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. I'm TCaptainX. If you don't know who I am, I'm a 4.5 KD player with a 50 kill PR in Rebirth Island, and in this video, I'm gonna help you get better at Warzone by breaking down a 30 kill game in Vandal solos. I've had a lot of requests to break down some solo gameplay and also questions about how to get better at sniping specifically, so we're gonna be covering both of those in today's video. Before we jump into really like the meat of the video, there's some things I wanna quickly cover. Number one, the biggest thing that separates people from becoming better at Warzone is probably their aim, especially if you want to snipe. So if you have not already watched my Warzone aim guide, I would highly recommend doing so. But a ton of people give very, very positive feedback at how much that video helped their gameplay. You can just search TCaptainX Warzone aim guide, or I'll try to link it in the video description below as well. Now in that video, I specifically talk about improving your aim when it comes to sniping, but a quick summary here for how to practice sniping. Number one, you can set up private matches in multiplayer if you have the multiplayer. You can pick a big map, put a bunch of bots on there. If you want, you can turn your aim assist off as well when you practice to make it even harder. And then you can also do just thing, if you don't have multiplayer, plunder or lockdown and going in and just trying to get into a good range where you can practice your sniping as much as possible. You can also do this in regular multiplayer modes as well if you're trying to level up things kind of simultaneously. Now, sniping is very high risk, high reward. If your shots are landing, the Kar 98 is hands down the best long range gun in the game. And that's mainly because ARs and LMGs are just not as strong as they used to be compared to how they were in Warzone 1. But if you're not hitting your shots, it doesn't matter how good they are, you have to hit your shots when it comes to sniping. Now, jumping in here, this is still kind of the early part of this game. When I'm first landing in, I have a few goals in mind. Number one, I want to land in and I want to find just some decent ground loot. Something that if I get pushed, I'm ready to fight. Ideally, I want a good close range gun and a good medium to long range gun. So I've picked up a Ram 9, pretty solid close range gun, not the best SMG in the game, but it'll absolutely do for the early part of this game. Next, the next thing I want to do is make sure I've got $7,500 so that I can get a loadout down as soon as possible, so that I have the advantage of having my better guns and also my perks. And more importantly, if I'm able to buy one before the free one comes, if I die, I have an opportunity to land back on that free loadout and I can much easier regain here. Now here, I'm hearing footstep audio above me, and this was a very awkward fight because this guy actually jumped off kind of the roof right as I challenged and tried to slide and look back. But I was able to correct my aim kind of quickly here and still win this gunfight, even though I did take a little bit of damage, but no big deal. So we're getting plated back up, getting ready to get back in the mix here. I do have loadout money, but I'm trying to just clear the area around me, make sure no one's too close to me here, because I'm still kind of hearing some audio. Not sure if people are near me, but we're gonna go ahead and buy a loadout, throw it down here. Kind of bounces back into an area where I didn't want here. But as I grab this, you're gonna see right here, there's a guy standing right here who was waiting on me. I realize this kind of right now, so I prone down, I use the loadout as cover before grabbing it, and then he runs away. Now I have my guns. Now we're ready to go. Now, first big tip here, this is something I talk about constantly, is kind of one of like the basics of getting better at aim, is your centering. Notice how my aim, my crosshairs are centered right at about chest level of where an enemy would be, and it's right on the edge of this wall. So if he were to continue pushing this way, my aim is already going to be right on him, ready to go, because I last saw him kind of push down this way. Now, I don't know for sure if he went into this building or if he's just sitting here, but I'm going to use very basic movement. We're going to slide and turn my aim as we come around the corner, and there he is. He's just kind of like laying there waiting for me. It looked like he was maybe trying to reload or something. Ends up being an easy kill. Now, always I used to be checking the minimap frequently. When I look at the minimap here, we have a ping with an up arrow. The up arrow means, in case you're a little bit newer to Warzone, means he is at least one level above you vertically. So we're working to the roof. We now have two pings here. I'm hearing shots, so I know multiple people over there. I've got the sniper out as I approach here. Anything like 20 meters and beyond is usually a good range to use the sniper, unless you're just a crackhead and want to try to quick scope people up close. But as I get closer here and I don't have a shot, now I'm going to switch to the SMG. Good centering, and this guy's going to pop out to my left. We get the down. Now, you could tell that looked like he was kind of like aiming towards this way, like somebody just went down this way. And as we keep playing, I'm hearing audio cues very clearly right below me. So again, we're going to go through here with good centering. We're sliding down the stairs, and this guy's actually gonna kind of break my camera, but I'm able to kind of fix my aim. He's not very happy. I'm gonna go back here just a little bit here, and I am gonna slow this down just a little bit. So this guy kind of breaks my camera, but I'm able to turn around quickly. The other thing I do here is, that guy was not very happy. The other thing I do here, and this is a minor thing, it's not gonna necessarily make or break winning some of these gunfights, but notice how when I crouch, when I first kind of get my camera broken, because I wanted to slide, but it kind of didn't let me. But then I start kind of spamming jump during that fight. All right, trying to take some long, risky shots here, and I make a mistake. Because what kind of happened there is my guy like lost his breath when I went to try to catch him when he stopped on the loadout, and I ended up missing that shot. I will say in the beginning of this game, I actually make a lot of mistakes and my shots weren't super good, but the middle to the end of the game, the sniping just becomes on fire, and that's how strong sniping can be, we'll talk about. Now right here, I am making a massive mistake right here, and this is something I want a lot of people to be aware of. I am standing relatively still on top of a rooftop where probably 80% of this lobby is probably running the Kar 98. Yes, there is a guy over here. I was hearing audio cues and I wasn't sure where he was, and he's right here. I realized that. I try to get my sniper out, trying to see if he's gonna like peek or something. I get sniped from way off in the distance. Thankfully, I have a self-revive. I cannot stress the importance enough. If you do not have a self-revive, if you don't have the little plus icon here in the bottom left next to your name, buy a self-revive if you have the money at a buy station, because it will save you so much, because so many times you'll get sniped, but you knock behind a little bit of cover, you're safe to revive and not get sniped again, and then you can plate up, reposition, and go on. So always preference trying to get self-revives. So we work back up to the map here. Now, one thing I'll play us in full speed here. We're gonna hit 2 shots here, 2 clean shots. One thing I want to talk about is when you are sniping, there is a big thing about learning to lead the shots here. This simply comes with practice. Both times I shoot, notice how I'm just shooting kind of on like the bottom half of that guy. That just comes with experience and practice of I've been in situations and in those ranges multiple times before, and I know how much to lead those shots here. Now I'll go back here. This was kind of a simple thing. I'm hearing audio cue. We're playing nice and slow. I hear more audio cues in here that there's somebody else in here. So as soon as I quickly reload, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pre-aim in here. This doesn't need to be anything fancy. Kind of hard to see because it's a dark lit area. That's it. One of the big mistakes I see so many people making is that they're too worried about like wanting to use movement, try to break cameras, all this stuff. That stuff is cool and all. I use a lot of movement in my gameplay when I need to, but a lot of the times you can make a fight so much easier simply by slowing down, pre-aiming, and playing smart. Now, I completely whiffed some shots here. Like I said, my shots were not very good in the beginning of this game, but one of the reasons why I'm able to shoot multiple times and that guy probably didn't realize, I'm running cold-blooded. If you see my perks down here, I'm running double time, Mountaineer, cold-blooded, and high alert. Cold-blooded because probably 80% of players, maybe 90% of players are running the high alert perk, which flashes your screen orange on the side when you're getting looked at, which I would highly recommend because of sniping. That cold-blooded, nice snipe there. Cold-blooded is gonna allow you to line your shots up when somebody doesn't realize that they're there, and it's gonna make sniping much more powerful. But I also wanna make sure you guys are running high alert as well, because it's gonna help you as well. Now, I'm in a spot here where the loadout is over here, and there was like 6 loadouts here. So I'm recognizing that I'm in kind of a power position that I can hold and just snipe people. And we're starting to pick off some snipe here. Now I do want to go back just a little bit, and I want to talk about that snipe there right quick. And I want to give you guys some tips for some more close range sniping. So I'm hearing audio cues, I'm looking this general direction, and there's a guy right here. I try to take a quick scope, we miss. Now, I know from experience, there is a jump up that you can get up here. And if he's a semi-smart player, he's not gonna re-challenge from the same angle. He's gonna try to take a different angle here. So I'm kind of ready for this. And I didn't have perfect centering, but he ends up peeking a little bit farther right than I expected. We quickly fix the aim, and we're gonna hit a quick scope here. Now, here's what I wanna talk about. Notice when you're trying to hit these more close range snipes, your center crosshair is very important. So notice I'm scoped out right here. I'm going to flick my aim before I scope in. So watch how we kind of start the flick as I'm scoping in. One thing that I see a lot of people make the mistake of is they try to scope in and then bring their aim way across. When you're in these more close to mid-range fights, it's very important that you are getting your center crosshair as close to that target as possible before you scope in, because you can't move very fast when you're all scoped in close range here. Now, like I said, there's a lot of people landing in here, and I'm just kind of taking advantage of this right now, and I'm kind of being that guy who's camping on the roof and sniping. But there's so many people around me that I'm just kind of taking advantage of this, and we've picked up like 3-4 downs, people that are trying to land in, get their loadout, things like that. Now, there was a ping over here ahead of me, so I've got the sniper out. This is still one of those ranges. It's a little bit more than 20 meters of where I would expect someone. Now, I'm starting to hear footsteps. I'm not sure, is he under me or is he in the next building over? So I'm centering, just starting to look this way. I'm not sure. I am making a mistake right now. I am standing on top of a rooftop again, and I'm risking getting sniped from across somewhere. And guess what? I get shot. Thank God the guy misses the headshot, but when this happens, I'm like, nope, we are out of here. I've got Mountaineer, so I can just full send it and jump right off. Don't have to pull my parachute. Highly, highly recommend running Mountaineer on all of your perks. It's just so incredibly strong because you can jump off rooftops and it doesn't slow you down, doesn't take you damage. So I made it out of there. I made a dumb mistake by standing on the roof, but now we're gonna reposition. We're plated back up, we're reloaded, we're good to go. Find a different angle. Again, playing nice and slow here. Good centering in case somebody's around me here. We pop out. This is something I like to do indoors. If I'm not sure someone's out here, I'll pop out and come back in. Nobody's out here because let's say somebody was sitting right here and they were just like proning and preaiming me. If that happens, I can very quickly run back out. Now, again, I slowly peek out and I see a guy over here. Guess what? I'm running cold-blooded. He's trying to shoot someone else. Easy shot. I can kind of take my time and line it up. I've got someone landing in. I hit a very good lead, but I missed the headshot, so I do get a crack. So if somebody is landing in, if they're not fully plated, if you hit a headshot, it should always be a one-shot down there. But missed the headshot, it's all good. Now, one thing I have to recognize here is zone is moving in, and I'm not all the way in zone, but I'm a lot closer to zone as some of these other people. So I can use my positioning to try to get holds here. Trying to shoot this guy, it's kind of hard to see him through the trees here. And also recognizing that whenever you're shooting through any like foliage, trees, bushes, you're gonna lose aim assist. So it's something to be aware of. Your aim is gonna feel a little bit faster when you don't have that. So again, we're just kind of waiting for this guy. Miss the headshot, but because I've got him cracked, I can push. He's not gonna have time to get fully plated here. One thing you'll see me do a lot, and as you get better at sniping, when you get a crack and you have someone close to you, that's your time to push and go. A lot of the times I'll get a crack at like 20 meters, I'll push and just get the next few bullets with my SMG or AR, whatever I'm using. Now, I cracked a guy across the street here. However, a guy just shot at me from the right. You can see on the minimap, this guy is just to my right here. This is probably, based on where he is, I know he's gonna be pretty close to me. So I'm gonna challenge this with my close range gun. This guy hit some good shots. I missed the first few of mine because he was kind of sliding the opposite direction as I was coming, but I'm still able to win the gunfight and kind of basically hit more shots than him. Now, I know I have to get to zone. I'm kind of clearing my sides, making sure nobody's coming in from the right, but it looks like they're across the river. This guy is kind of trying to make a gas play, able to follow up and hit 2 quick shots. This guy, so that first one, I missed the lead here. So we'll go back here just a little bit. And I'll slow this one down too as well. So we hit the first one. I have a bad habit of unscoping and scoping back in. Honestly, don't do that. It's all good. But this one, I want to go down here. Watch the lead here of where I lead this shot. I kind of shoot right on his head, but because he's sprinting to the right, I'm not kind of in that hit scan range where I needed to put the shot on the front of his head or maybe like an inch ahead of his head. And that's why I missed that shot from this distance. So the next one, watch how I pull the trigger at the very front of his head. That's gonna allow me to hit that shot. So that's just another thing that comes with practice and time for sniping. Really recommend trying to run the same build for a while and getting really used to how much you have to lead based off that scope and based off that bullet velocity. I will make sure to show the Kar 98 loadout at the end of this gameplay, the Striker loadout as well though. So, I'm at 21 kills. I've actually had a really high pace this game, and a big reason for that is because I've been able to pick off a ton of people sniping. Sniping gives you that ability where you can just really quickly pick up kills that you otherwise couldn't with an AR. Now, because of the fire sale, I'm gonna call in 3 UAVs, and I'm gonna get an advanced UAV. And when you call in 3, you're gonna get a UAV to where you can see their movement like second by second. So I see this guy in front of me here based on the UAV. and I'm just gonna get some high ground, kind of take my time, and notice how I kind of took my time a little bit to line up that headshot instead of just hitting the chest shot, because he was in a sprint, he was totally caught off guard, didn't know I was there. Got another guy up in this building ahead of me, not sure what level he is. One downside to advanced UAVs is that you don't know up or down what level they are. So that's actually why I don't pick up the bird's eye vest, is for that reason, or the comms vest. Now, notice how I was able to just land straight on the ground there. If you have the Mountaineer perk, when you hit a zip line, just when you hit the redeploy zip line, you don't have to pull your chute. You can actually just land straight down. You'll take a little bit of damage, but it won't kill you. Now, that looks super sus. Looks like I have wall hacks and whatnot. But again, that was very simple. I'm looking at the UAV here. I can see this guy is in this building. He's facing this way to my right here. I don't know exactly that he's here and that he could be down lower in the building, but I have to assume. So we notice how I start the slide right before the door and I center my aim. Much better that you do that instead of trying to like just slowly peek it. That guy tried to land back in and grab his stuff. That was the guy I killed earlier. Instead, we're just gonna pick up a good snipe. Again, the advanced UAV, it lasts for I think like a full minute, so it's very, very powerful. See this one right here, and see how there's ripple pings? That means in solos that he is respawning and landing back in. So I look that way, end up hitting a beautiful snipe there and just happen to lead it perfectly. And I'll slow this one down a little bit too, just so we can kind of see the lead of this. So notice how that one was actually pretty much spot on him. And I think that was because he started to turn back the other way. Got another guy landing in here. See how much I let it there? Because he's moving very far right to left, I had to lead that shot a lot more on that first one. Got a third guy landing here. Oh, so that one, I probably didn't lead it enough. I probably need to lead that one more. I kind of shot right at him. Sometimes it can be a little bit weird. The hit reg with the servers can be a little bit off. It's not always perfect. But as the more and more we practice, you'll get better at kind of understanding how much to lead your shots here. Now, end game here, I still have a lot of people landing in. I'm trying to take advantage, but at this range, these shots, they're really hard to hit. Like, even if you're perfect at leading your shots, it's hard to hit these. So I recognize I gotta get to zone. I don't see anyone nearly around me, so I seem safe. Now, I'm hearing shots and I look at the minimap and I've got a down arrow over here, which means he's down below me at least one level, so he's probably down in the houseboat. So again, my centering is kind of on the edge where he could possibly pop up of. I'm hearing audio, so I definitely know he's in here. Just playing slow, pre-aiming, nothing special here, trying to see if he's gonna peek out. Nothing special. Play nice and slow. I knew he was there because of information from both audio cues and from the UAV. A lot of these close range fights are very simple when you break them down at the end of the day here. Now, end game. I clearly hear audio. So at first I was looking towards the big building. I wanted to get high ground. I very clearly hear a water audio cue. I look, I see this guy swimming. I'm trying to line up a shot here. Now this guy, there's no way he knows I'm there. I also have cold-blooded, so even if he had high alert, he's not gonna know. I just wait for him to pop up. Easy headshot. Again, notice though how my centering of my crosshair before I ever scoped in was already on him. That is one of the things that will make close to mid-range sniping so much easier, is your center crosshair needs to be lined up on the enemy before you ever scope in. All right, end game, resurgence is disabled. This is very risky what I'm doing here. This is dumb. This was a mistake. I very easily could have got sniped here. And guess what happens? Thank goodness he misses the headshot. Now I do have a self-revive. So because I have a self-revive, I can be a little bit more risky, but if he had a PA or something, I'd be dead. What I was doing there, standing on the edge, very, very dumb. Don't do that. I'm not perfect. Now, I'm climbing up this way because I remember in this game, I was like, I need to clear my back. I'm on a huge roof. A huge part of zone is covering it. I need to make sure nobody's up here. So I'm looking. Oh, there he is. Missed the headshot, and we just missed the second shot. Now I clearly hear the parachute audio cue, so I run over here to see, can I catch him kind of out here? But again, I have to be careful on this edge. Don't really see this guy, not sure where he went. Whatever, I'm not gonna chase, I'm not gonna give up my high ground. Now, at this point, I've recognized people are trying to snipe me. So notice how even though I'm on this ledge, I'm still, even when I aim in, I'm still aim walking. And I'm always kind of bobbing back and forth. See a guy there, miss a shot. I have no idea how that shot connected because I'm completely behind the wall. That is our lovely Call of Duty servers that have a lot of desync at times. Again, notice how I'm trying not to stand still. I know I can be a little risky here. That guy goes down to someone else. Now, one thing about this loadout, I am using a laser. And since this game, I've actually changed my loadout and I'm not using a laser anymore. That way I can pre-aim and hard scope at times. I know there's people that are like, oh, you're a loser if you hard scope, bro. I don't care what people think. I'm here to just get kills and win games. So I did take the laser off. That way I can hard scope and people won't see the laser. We do use the UAV tower here. These are pretty nice. So we do get a lot of information as there's several people under me. One of these guys is pinging as like the advanced UAV ping. I don't know why certain people ping like that. I really have no idea. It doesn't make sense, but they do. Maybe because they're using the Jack BFB, even though they're not shooting it. I don't know. I'm assuming he's below me because I don't see him above me. So I'm not going to be in zone, so I know I need to start rotating. So I'm looking this way and hello, there's this guy. Now I hit a nice little jump shot here. This is the technique. It's a lot harder to do, but it can be very useful. But I want to break this down. So as I'm kind of jumping over the ledge, now I see this guy, okay? So what I'm going to end up doing is I try to get a rough center of where he is. We jump, and I actually timed it perfectly there. I know that looked a little bit sus. But when you jump, you want to center pre-aim, and hopefully you'll be kind of in the right area. So because I've cracked this guy, I know I can push him. He's already fully plated though, and he tried to take high ground. I can tell this guy's got a decent shot, so I'm trying to play very smart and slow here. So I'm trying to see, can I get a shot? I hit him in the leg, so I don't get an armor break there. But again, I know I can push him because I'm pressuring him. I'm getting damage on him. Now, he's kind of playing down low, trying to take the high ground, see what this guy's gonna do, trying to keep moving so I don't get sniped. I get high alerted, and bam, I get sniped in the back. Getting shot at. Smoke goes straight down as I'm plating, and we're going. Notice how there is no time wasted from the moment that as I got shot, I am instantly trying to constantly be moving, constantly be plating, constantly be repositioning with that smoke. We also threw the smoke up so that in case I was getting sniped at when I took the zip. Now, this was a very early rotation. I am way out in zone, but I have a durable gas mask, so I know I can do this. If you ever have the opportunity to early rotate because you have a gas mask, because you have stims, if cover seems open, early rotating ahead of zone in these endgame situations is always the better play if it's an available option. I call the PA in case anyone's on the roof. Try to snipe the guy straight down below me. Very awkward to do that here. And I'm just trying to look here. Is anybody on the roof? I'm not seeing anyone though. Getting reloaded. I also have to keep in mind, I'm out of plates. I took a lot of damage because I kept getting sniped at, and I ran through a lot of plates here. So I just saw this guy down here trying to kind of notice how I'm centering my scope before I aim in. I'm not just hard scoping. I'm centering kind of towards that direction. We crack him, and I can't quite finish him, but I get PA'd. So as soon as I see the PA noti, my eyes go to the mini-map, and I'm trying to look, am I safe? Now, there was a change made this season where there is, I believe, less time now than previously from when they call on the PA to when it hits you. They kind of buffed PAs a little bit. All right, so now we're in an endgame situation. It is now a 1v1. There's only one player left here based on the player count. I'm not fully plated. I don't have a gas mask, and I don't have stims because I run smokes. I think smokes are significantly stronger than stims, except for endgame situations. I'm trying to loot in here and see, can I maybe pick up some plates? Can I maybe find a gas mask? Can I find a stim if it's gonna come down to a heal off? But I do not want this game to come to a heal off. There's too much kind of like risk, and you're kind of just like putting the game into someone else's hands. I don't like doing that unless I knew I could live in the gas for a long time. I try to grab the box, which ends up being worse because I take your gas, or your plates do take damage as well in the gas, which doesn't make sense, but it does. So my goal here is I want to stay in the zone as long as possible in case this is going to come down to a heal off here. Obviously, I know he's somewhere below me. I just don't know if he's all the way to the ground. Is he in the middle level? I don't know. So we're staying as long as we possibly can. It wouldn't make sense to call the PA because it would just kill myself probably. I hear him coughing. I hear him running around. We look down there. Because I have Mountaineer, allows me to just, and he said some naughty words. He wasn't very happy with me. Because I have Mountaineer, I can just jump off and I can shoot while I aim. I don't have to worry about parachuting. If I didn't have Mountaineer there, I'd probably lose that game in all honesty. Mountaineer, way too good of a perk. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. Make sure you watch the Warzone aim guide video if you haven't already. I have a settings video, all that, and let me show you guys the loadout here really quick as well. So this is my updated Car 98 build. Now in the gameplay, I was not running the target sling and I was instead running the SL Razorhawk. This ends up giving you like 10 milliseconds faster ADS than this build, but this build does not have a laser, so you don't have to worry about people seeing your laser. This has been overall my favorite build. Technically speaking, the X10 Intellis build or scope is going to give you a little bit more zoom and a faster ADS of 348, but the range caller scope, it just feels good. It's that OG Car 98 scope. So this really comes down to personal preference, depending on just which one you want. Alrighty, thanks for watching. Subscribe, hit the like button, comment, do all the things. Bye-bye.